Interesting facts about Australia that may surprise you. 1. The Australian Alps get more snow than the Swiss Alps. Many people visit Australia for its beautiful beaches and sunny weather all year. But the Australian Alps, located in New South Wales and Victoria, are also a great place for people who love to ski. They usually have snow from June to September. So, if you love skiing and it's summer in places like Europe or North America, you can still ski in Australia. 2. 90% of Australians live on the coast. Most people in Australia live near the coasts because the middle of the country is filled with big deserts. Australia is surrounded by water, so there are a lot of places where you can surf and many beaches to see. That's why a lot of people choose to go to the coast. 3. Australia has over 60 separate wine regions. If you visit Australia, you should definitely try their wine. They have many different places where wine is made. Most of these places are in New South Wales and Victoria. 4. There is a town in Australia, Koalas, where the entire town lives underground in abandoned mines. Residents here have electricity and plumbing and have been known to find vast amounts of opal when renovating. 5. 80% of the animals are unique to Australia. Australia has some really cool animals. These range from cute animals like marsupials to a big mix of birds. You can see these animals in many ways, like at zoos and parks or in the wild. 6. Australia has multiple pink lakes. These lakes become pink during the summer. This happens when the salt and algae in the water mix together. Many pink lakes often change their color. They can go from a light purple to a bright pink color on a day or during different times of the year. Not all pink lakes stay pink all the time. You can swim in a pink lake if you want to. But most pink lakes in Australia don't let people swim in them because the local people want to keep them safe. 7. Australia has 3 times more sheep than humans. Australia is home to a huge number of sheep, over 70 million. This means there are nearly 3 sheep for every person living in Australia. 8. There is a mountain called Mount Disappointment. In 1824, 2 explorers, Hume and Hovell, named a mountain Mt. Disappointment. They were upset because they couldn't see Port Phillip Bay from the top of the mountain due to the thick forest there. 9. The dog fence is 3x longer than the Great Wall of China. The dingo fence in Australia is a long barrier that goes on for 5,614 kilometers, 3,488 miles. Its purpose is to stop dingoes, a type of wild dog, from getting into areas in southern Queensland where sheep are kept and the southeast part of the continent, which is more fertile. This fence has mostly gotten rid of dingoes in these areas. 10. There is a cockroach race held annually for Australia Day. Cockroach racing began in Australia 38 years ago when 2 people at a bar were debating about whose neighborhood had the fastest and largest cockroaches. This fun event still happens today at the same bar where it started. Back in 2018, 2 racing cockroaches named Kim Car Squashian and Kanye Pest were popular choices to win the race. 11. Over 80% of the animals in Australia can be only found there. Australia is special because it has a lot of animals and plants that you can only find there and nowhere else in the world. For example, 46% of the bird species, 69% of the mammals, including ones that live in the sea, 94% of the amphibians, and 93% of the reptiles are unique to Australia. Most other groups, like the eucalypts, a type of tree, are also found only in Australia or nearby areas. 12. Australia has almost 12,000 beaches along its 60,000 kilometers coastline. If you decided to spend one day at each beach in Australia, it would take you roughly 32 years to visit all of them. So, it looks like life in Australia is really all about the beach. 13. Some of the world's deadliest animals live in Australia, such as common death adder, coastal taipan, and blue-ringed octopus. 14. The Great Emu War. When the emus grew in numbers, they started to wreak havoc on crops, which prompted the Great Emu War of Australia. Former World War I soldiers were hired to fight the emu. The soldiers used the Lewis machine gun, a light machine gun widely used in the First World War. It took about 10 bullets to kill a single emu, hence the officials decided that it was not worth it. In the end, the emus won. 15. Australia is moving 7 centimeters (2.7 inches) per year in the north direction towards Asia, making it the fastest moving continental land mass on the Earth.